There are 3 things a confident woman over 50 stops apologizing for. And the very first one is simply taking up the space she has always been afraid to take. If you believe love and confidence are still yours after 50, subscribe. We are building that life together. So let me name the thing you already feel. That tiny word. Sorry. It slips out before you even think. Someone bumps into you and you say it. You have an opinion and you soften it with it. You need something, anything, and there it is again. A little apology just for existing. You have been saying that word for decades. And somewhere along the way, it stopped being politeness and started being a habit of making yourself smaller. If you have ever caught yourself saying sorry just for existing, keep this one close because it is about to lift something off your shoulders. Because underneath all those little sorries, not the folded up version who checks the room before she speaks, the real one, the one who takes up her own life without flinching. Here is the first thing a confident woman over 50 no longer apologizes for: taking up space. Let me show you what that looks like, because it is smaller and truer than you think. Picture her walking into a warm, sunlit cafe. She does not scan for the corner table where no one will notice her. She walks to the counter and she orders exactly what she wants. Not the small one because it is cheaper, not the plain one because it is easier. The thing she actually wants. Then she sits down at her little table, shoulders back, and she does not curl herself into the smallest shape in the room. She just sits there, present, at ease, taking up her chair like it belongs to her because it does. Picture your own version of that cafe. The chair you sit up straight in. The order you finally make without shrinking it. Taking up space is not being loud. It is not demanding or bossy or too much. A woman who takes up space is simply present. She is here fully without apology. That is the difference. Loud is a performance. Presence is just you being real in the room. And here is your doable little step for today. Sit up. Order what you actually want. And when that reflex rises up, that automatic sorry for taking a moment or having a need, let it stay unsaid. Just once. See how it feels to be here without softening yourself first. And I will tell you something honest about men too, because I know it matters. A good man does not notice the woman working the hardest to be pleasing. He notices the woman who is simply calmly there, comfortable in her own skin, that quiet presence. That is where real attraction begins, not in the shrinking, in the standing tall, but taking up space. That is the gentle one. That is the easy sorry, the one that makes women flinch, the one you used to swallow whole, just to stay easy, to keep the peace, to not rock the boat. And that one takes more than sitting up straight. It's her own honest opinion. For years, she wrapped every real thought in a soft little apology, took it back before anyone could even disagree, made it smaller so nobody would feel poked. A confident woman over 50 stops doing that. She stops apologizing for speaking her truth. Picture it. 2 women at a kitchen table, coffee going cold, talking about something that actually matters. The old version of her would have felt a different opinion rising in her chest and then, right there, swallowed it. Just to stay easy. Just to keep the other person comfortable. She'd nod along and say, "Sorry, no, you're probably right," and quietly shrink into the smallest version of herself. Not anymore. Now she says what she actually thinks, calmly. And here's the part that surprises women the most. She doesn't wrap it in a 3-minute apology. She doesn't soften it until it disappears. She just says it, and then she lets it sit there, allowed to stand. And I know what the worry is. You're thinking, but Issabela, won't that make me rude? No. Honesty said with warmth is not rude. It never was. A kind woman can disagree and still be kind. Those 2 things live together just fine. The truth is, that little apology cushion you've been adding for decades, that's the thing that taught the whole world your word didn't quite count. Every sorry first was a tiny signal that your opinion was up for negotiation. It wasn't. So here's your one thing this week. Just one. Say one honest no or one honest, oh, I'd love that. And add no explanation after it. None. No reason, no apology, no long story to make it acceptable. You'll feel the pull to explain yourself. Sit with that pull. And let me pause here because I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, which of these have you been apologizing for the longest? I read them and I am on your side, truly. And if this is landing, subscribe and stay with me. The third one is the one that changes everything. Now, speaking your truth has another side to it, and it matters just as much. When you learn to trust your own voice, you also learn to trust your own gut. And your gut is wise. It has kept you alive a long time. So if you're meeting someone new and something feels off, you're allowed to honor that feeling out loud. You don't owe anyone your silence to seem nice. If a man moves too fast or ever asks you for money, that is not love. That's a warning, and you can trust it. Set the phone face down. Protect your heart and your peace always. Speaking your truth includes the truth that says, this doesn't feel right. She takes up space now, sitting up straight in that cafe instead of folding herself away. And she speaks her truth, letting her honest words stand without a single sorry glued to the front. 2 of them laid down. 2 lifelong reflexes gone. No tricks, no games. Just quiet, dignified shifts that make her feel lighter every single time. But the third one. Oh, the third one is different. The third thing a confident woman over 50 never apologizes for is the one that makes her genuinely magnetic, the one this whole talk has been walking toward. And I'll be honest with you, it's the sorry almost every woman finds the very hardest to stop saying. It is this. She apologizes for her own happiness, for choosing what lights her up and then quietly shrinking it down so nobody feels left behind. Think of the one thing that lights you up that you keep putting last. Hold it in your mind. The trip you have been saving for a someday that never seems to come. The Saturday you always end up giving away to everyone else. Here's the third thing. A confident woman over 50 never apologizes for choosing what makes her happy without guilt. That is it. That is the one that changes everything. Picture her. She opens the laptop and books the trip, the real one, the one with her own name on the ticket. She walks into the dance class with 2 left feet, catches her own eye in the mirror, and laughs and moves anyway. She gives a whole Saturday to the garden or the paints or the long walk in the sun, and she does not explain it to a single soul. No little speech about how she has earned it. No trimming it smaller so it takes up less room. She just finally lets herself be happy. And something funny happens when she stops. That guilt she was so sure she owed the whole world. You do one thing purely for you, and half your mind is already writing the apology. For years, that guilt was the tax she paid on her own joy. Every good day came with a receipt, a sorry, a reason, a quiet promise to make it up to everyone later. She is done paying it. Her joy does not need a permission slip. And here is the honest part, the part that circles right back to love. A woman who no longer apologizes for her own happiness is magnetic. Not because she is performing for anyone, because she is living. An emotionally mature man does not fall for a woman auditioning to be liked. He notices the one at the next table who is fully inside her own life, laughing over her coffee, easy in her own skin. Presence. That is what draws him, not performance. Presence. So look at all 3 of them together now, taking up space, speaking your truth, choosing your joy. Just a woman laying down a sorry she has carried since she was a girl, one at a time until she is standing at her full height. Because that reflex, that tiny sorry that slips out before you have even done anything wrong, was never really about being polite. It was about making yourself smaller so everyone around you stayed comfortable. And my love, you have done that long enough. Age never made you less. It made you clearer. Clear about what you want, about who you are, about what you will no longer fold yourself in half to keep. You do not need to become someone new. You do not need to be younger or smaller or easier to be around. You just get to stop saying sorry for being fully, beautifully yourself. If you needed to hear this today, let it be the day you stop. The next time that little sorry rises up out of pure habit, the way it did standing at that dinner table, you get to close your mouth and simply let yourself be. That is where real self-worth begins. And that is exactly where the right kind of love comes looking for you. So stand tall and let the love and the respect you deserve finally find you.